Hello everybody, we are here today with Jamal Mon Désir,
Yeah, hello.
who is coming from Miami to the UK. She has been here since 2008.
Yeah.
9. He was initially came from an internship and stayed so many years. And here he created WayFare, that is an upcoming app that lets you spread the cost of the flights in smaller monthly payments. He will explain more in depth that in a minute. And well, he is also he comes from a family full of musicians that he will tell us more now. And he also likes traveling. He has been in some places in Europe and of course in the US, and now here. So if you want to learn more about Jamal, his travels, his music, and his WayFare, follow us. I'm curious about this family with many musicians.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
I just come from a family full of musicians. My uncle is in a band, has been like all my life. My mother's a singer and not a professional one, but sings a lot. And then I've got quite a few cousins that have done stuff in music. So yeah, I guess it's just part of who I am. And so from a very young age, I joined choir, moved into playing the piano when I got a bit older, and then from there, when I was in school, I joined band and learned to play the tuba. And I hated that, so I ended up moving on to the saxophone, which I enjoyed, did that for 3 years, and yeah, eventually just moved into just really enjoying music, like for the production value. So I streamed I think last year 76,000 minutes of music all year, and probably have done twice that already this year. And I spend a lot of time at gigs, and I went to my first festival last week, so yeah.
And why did you decide to start this company about travels if you like so much the music?
I guess because I'm just a worldly person. Actually, the idea for the company came when I originally moved here. I moved here as an intern in 2008, but then I went home and returned in 2009 as a international student. And when I came as an international, every time I had to buy a ticket home, I always thought, why doesn't somebody just let you pay for the flights monthly? Because I know I want to go home for Christmas. So it's kind of like a set thing in my calendar, but you get to September and it's a bit too expensive, and you're having to ask your family to give you money. So I just thought, I could have been paying £50 every month towards a plane ticket to come home in December. So I thought about it in my head. I looked into it. Nobody did it, and that was it. It was just just something I thought wasn't the done thing. And that same pain kind of followed me out of university and into the working world. And it was worse in the working world because people expect you to have more money once you start working, and it doesn't feel that way. So I was still having to ask my family to pay for my flights home. And about 2 years ago, I saw that there was a company that did this. They just sprang up overnight, and I was like, fantastic. That's the idea. Yeah, I was like, that's the idea I've always had. So I went to go book a trip with them, and straight away I saw I would do this differently, I would do that differently, I would do that differently, and I wrote it all down into a PowerPoint, and then I closed it, and I never opened it up again. until about 7 or 8 months ago. And here I am.
And you joined this program. We are in a program called Accelerator.
Yep.
And how it is helping you, this program?
So before I joined the NatWest Accelerator, I was doing customer discovery, so I was getting on the phone and interviewing people who I thought would be good for, as lead users, people who are the same as myself, live abroad, outside their home countries. After I had a good amount of validation from the customer discovery, I found that the next thing I would need to do is get investment. So I spent my time trying to write a business plan, and I'm so bad at sitting down and writing a long piece of work. So I started looking for what I could do that could take me away from having to write a business plan and just kind of throw me into what I needed. So I found this place and I thought, oh, that sounds fantastic. So working here has been great because it's just forced me to and prompted me to have a bunch of different conversations that I wouldn't have had. It's helped me grow and develop the idea a lot more than what it originally was. I think that's probably one of the biggest benefits, really, of being here, is just the people that are around you and the ideas that you get and bouncing ideas off of each other. And I also don't have to write that business plan, not for a while anyway.
But you have to pitch.
I have to pitch, but pitching is fine.
Just in case you don't know, pitching is to talk about your business usually in a little amount of time.
60 seconds they give you.
Most of the time.
60 seconds.
That is crazy, but yeah, it can be done. And what is your daily routine? Do you come here every day, or?
So I work a full-time job at the moment, so it's a bit difficult for me. Typically there are some days where I will finish early at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I will walk over here and I will just crack on working until about 9 or 10 p.m. If there's days that I'm starting late, I will come in the morning and work until I have to go to my full-time job. Sundays, it's very usual to see me in here. I'll usually be the only person in the space, and I'll easily spend about 15 hours in here on a Sunday. Wow. So yeah, and then my other day off is typically the same. I'll work late at night. So yeah, that's I don't have a set routine at the moment. That's I just kind of have to juggle it around my work schedule.
I wonder also, from an American point of view, how do you see the UK and Manchester more concretely? They're so different, and I guess one of the things is I just feel at home anywhere I go. So that's probably one of the reasons why I started a travel business. Difference between America and the US. I've not even been to a lot of America, because America's different even within itself. So I can only kind of really compare Miami to Manchester. It's both cities are fairly cosmopolitan. Both cities have surprisingly, which I wasn't expecting when I moved to Manchester, but a good diversity of food. But what's nice about Manchester is it's big, but it doesn't feel big. It doesn't feel overwhelming. I mean, you can walk from one end of the city to the other, and in about 15 minutes, and that's unheard of in Miami. But it's still a big city. Everybody's heard of Manchester. You know, they ask you about Manchester United or Manchester City, depending on who you are, where your allegiances lie. But yeah, I wouldn't really trade it for anything. I think after I finished uni, my original intentions were to move to London, but now I go to London and I just feel like it's nice to go and visit my friends for a weekend, but it's too big. It's too big for me, like not all the time, just sometimes. And what are the, let's say, two biggest challenges you have faced in this stage, especially as an entrepreneur?
Earliest stage, because I don't have funding, a lot of times you feel like you're just running on an idea, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult to keep the motivation up, because you've got this idea, it's so good in your head, you tell it to people and they love it. But it's not come to fruition yet, and every day that kind of goes by, it feels like you kind of lose a little bit of steam every day, and you have to kind of motivate yourself. remember why you're doing it, remember the bigger picture. So yeah, motivation is probably a big one for me. As well, I think with working a full-time job for me and spending so much time here when I'm not in work, a big one is trying to balance my social life. I don't I've heard of other entrepreneurs who have just cut everyone off for 6 months and just focused on their business, and I wish I could say that's something I was willing to do. But I think I get a lot of energy from my friends, and I feel like a big reason why I'm pursuing this idea is not just for me, but also for my friends, so I can help them pursue their dreams as well. And they motivate me and they remind me of why I'm doing what I'm doing. So the tricky part is making sure that you have a right balance, and as well, sometimes you kind of just have to understand that being with your friends and not focusing on your business for a few hours is not a bad thing, because there's been times where there was a Sunday where I was in this space and somebody had messaged me to go out for food and I really didn't want to. I forced myself to go out because it was summer, and you know, in Manchester we don't get the sun all the time. So you have to make the most of it. So
summer this year.
yeah, summer just gone. Yeah, just a few months ago. Oh, well, we're still in summer now. So I forced myself to go out, and I met up with my friend, and we had a good time. But in that instance, at some point I turned around and there was a guy behind me that I had been emailing for 4 months trying to get in contact with. So I looked up and was like, oh my god, that's him!
He was replying before, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was just busy. I knew it wasn't a grudge or anything, but I was like, oh, fantastic. So I finally got a chance to chat with him. So in the end, it worked out that it was a good thing for me to actually get out the office. So making, there's little things like that. And so making sure that you keep a right balance is important.
Yeah, because you have to make compatible the full-time job with starting a business.
Yeah,
I suppose it's a hard job.
Yeah.
And is there anything that you could do differently if you started again?
I would have started sooner. Remember I said I had put that PowerPoint together, I want to say in December of 2016, and I sat on that idea for so long and I didn't do anything with it because I didn't feel like it was my lane. I didn't feel like it was my purpose. I thought somebody else is already doing a business that does that. Let them have a great time with it. And it was over a series of events that happened last year where I realized that this is what I needed to do. This is what I needed to do. And I originally just started floating the idea to my friends, saying, what would you think of a business that lets you spread the cost of your flights? And they said, oh, well, does nobody do that? Well, not really. I mean, there's a few, and they said, that's a great idea. So, and then the more and more I talked about it, the more and more people I found the more and more people were receptive to it. And when I finally got to the point where I started speaking to customers, that's when I realized, this is actually a thing that people want and have been wanting. So I would have started sooner if I could have done anything differently. That's...
Tell me, what are your vision in, let's say, 5 years' time, both in a personal way and also for WayFare?
There's a really good quote by Kathy Griffin that says, if it doesn't matter in 5 years, it doesn't matter. So 5 years is always like the longest I ever think about, to be fair. In 5 years' time, we'll start with WayFare. I think I want it to be something that everybody has on their phone. Everybody loves it. You're traveling more just because of it. You're going on adventures that you didn't think you were ever going to go on, or going places that you never even thought about. and just learning more a bit about the world, learning different cultures, meeting new people. I'm sure, I know everybody's going to use it to go on like beach holidays and everything, but my idea is that hopefully you just get tired of beach holidays and start doing some other really cool things, and learning about the world. So yeah, we very much kind of want it to be something that you use regularly every day, not just when you're trying to book a trip. We always say that we want it to be booking trips to be as easy as trying to book an Uber through your phone. So because we are making customers less price sensitive, rather than spending 2 or 3 days trying to organize and plan a trip, you might just look on your phone, find a destination that you like, find a fare that you think, I can pay that monthly, that's fine, let's book it, and then off you go. So yeah, we just want you to slay your bucket list, we say. So that's WayFare, and I think for myself, in 5 years' time, my ideal situation, honestly, it's just being surrounded by my friends, being able to go travel more with them, working on this business and this idea that I love, that hopefully makes a lot of people smile and enjoy life, and that's kind of all I want. Yeah, just happiness, just constant happiness.
Well, I want to join that plan.
You are more than welcome.
Okay, Jamal, but you told me you speak a little bit of other languages apart from English?
Yeah, so growing up in Miami, I can speak quite a good bit about Spanish, and if I've had enough beers, I can blast through a conversation in French. I did it once in Paris. I'm sure I can do it again. I'm very good at languages. Actually, I'm very good at languages because it comes at the expense of being very bad at maths. In fact, one of the things I love doing is learning like little funny phrases and useless phrases in other languages.
For example?
One of my favorite ones is in Italian. Do you want me to say it? Yeah? It is intorno alla tavola siamo tutti nemici e una guerra.
Ma come? What does it mean?
It means around the dinner table we are all enemies and a war.
So, well, now we are friends, not enemies. Sorry. Thank you for being there, listening to us. And thank you, Jamal.
Thank you.
Thank you very much again. And see you around the world.
I'll see you. You'll be joining me.
Bye bye. See you in another
Adios.
video. Yeah.